We'll just kind of keep adding this in, kind of fluffing it with our tongs, making sure that everything's getting coated in there evenly. It's amazing how quick that soaks up all the grease, huh? Well, we're going to add some chicken stock to this in just a minute to help kind of thin it out a little bit. Certainly not going to add any more oil to the pan. Keep getting our spinach in there. And this wilts up a lot faster than you would imagine, I think. There's a couple different ways that you can do it, but I like this way. I think that the flavor of the pancetta really gets all the way through the spinach, and you just come out with a much more rich flavor. Why don't we go ahead and salt that and pepper it. Give that another good toss before we add the arugula. So arugula, what I have here is a baby green, a lot like the baby spinach that we just used. It's kind of a sister or a cousin to spinach, and the difference in this stuff is that it's a little bit more bitter. It's a little peppery. It has a little bit more bite to it. So let's go ahead and get all these leaves in here. And of course we're going to stir this up in just a second and add in that chicken stock so we can help wilt it a little bit. We're actually going to turn it up now since the pan is not so hot anymore. And isn't it crazy how much it cooks down? We went from that whole huge bag of spinach, this whole thing would have been full if we put it in all at once, and it's cooked down to so little. And can you imagine what that frozen chopped spinach that you get in the box in your freezer section at the grocery store, how many pounds of spinach that actually takes to make? That's just insane. And this looks like a pretty good time to add our chicken stock to add a little bit extra moisture to the pan. And we're just going to add a splash at a time, see how much more we need. This will also kind of deglaze the pan and get up any of the drippings from the pancetta or any additional flavors that are left behind and kind of soak up nicely into those greens. All right, well, we have just finished skewering up our swordfish, and we are ready to get our spinach and arugula into a bowl. So just using your tongs, just kind of scoop it out from your chicken stock. That's actually probably a nice base for a soup or something. I think that would make some pretty good spinach soup. Now what we're going to do is just kind of sprinkle it with the pancetta that we have cooked up before. Depends on how much of this you're looking for, guys. Of course, you can add more spinach and arugula, and you can make as much or as little as you want. It's up to you, as little or as much as you want to make. But really my favorite part about the dish is the pancetta. So I'm just going to put a little more of that in there. Alright, well, now that we have finished our greens on the side, we're going to get our swordfish skewers onto the grill. Let's just hit it with a little bit of olive oil. Get that nice pop and crackle going. And remember, we're just going to cook these long enough to kind of crisp up the pancetta a little bit. Oh, we lost a guy right there. Ooh, they are sizzling, aren't they? All right. We'll come back to those in just a few minutes and turn them, but for now we are going to marinate our artichoke hearts. And I'm not going to go through the trouble to extract my own hearts from artichokes. That takes so long. That's probably why these are fairly expensive in a can. Alright, so I have opened up these cans of artichokes here. These are just the hearts. There's about 5 to 7 large hearts per can. If some of the excess oil or water, whatever they're marinated in, gets into the bottom of the bowl that you're marinating them in, that's fine. Just a little extra flavor. No big deal. But we certainly do want to add some other flavor with some lemon juice and some olive oil. Now that we've got our artichoke hearts in a big bowl to marinate them in, we're going to use a little bit of lemon juice. Kind of perk up the flavor of the artichokes a little bit since they're not fresh, since they're from a can. You got to do anything you can to bring out that fresh flavor, and I think that lemon is just the thing if you want to add fresh flavor to anything. So we've got the juice of a lemon in here. Now we're going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil, about a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, and sometimes Sometimes I use a little bit more than a teaspoon. If you don't like spicy stuff, feel free to skip the crushed red pepper altogether. That looks good. We are also going to salt and pepper these, of course. Healthy pinch of salt, little pinch of black pepper. And again, aren't these your best tools in the kitchen? Let's mix these up a little bit. Well, now that our artichokes are marinating, let's get back to our swordfish and see how they're going over here. Ooh, they are flaky, they are falling apart, which means they are probably ready. See, our pancetta has crisped up very nicely and is cooked. See some of these guys. Looks like we may have like kind of a hot side of the grill and kind of a cold side of the grill. But that's okay. Why don't we get these guys off that are done, give these other ones a few minutes, and we will start skewering up our artichoke tulips. All right, now let me show you how to make these artichoke hearts into tulips. You're not going to believe how easy this is. Look, that's all you have to do. So we're just going to skewer all these. You don't want to poke the skewer all the way through, because then it doesn't look like a tulip. It looks like an artichoke heart on a stick. So we're going to leave them up at the top there. Sometimes the heavier ones will try to find their way down, but all you have to do is maneuver them a little bit. Once they grill up, they'll kind of stick a little bit better to the skewer. These are fairly delicate. These artichoke hearts are. So when you're mixing them and when you're handling them, you want to be fairly gentle. Skewered our tulips, and like I said, these couldn't be easier. We're just going to lay these on the grill. These are just going to sear on each side until they have grill marks, maybe 5 minutes max on the grill. And then they are ready to devour. Well, our tulips have had a chance to brown up, and so I'm just going to stick them in this vase here so that they look like tulips. Oh, and if you lose a soldier along the way, don't be too discouraged. Oh, it happens to the best of us. We'll just keep rocking and rolling, see how many other good guys we get off here. Remember, like I said, these are really, really delicate. Part of the reason why I wanted to make them into tulips. And with the lemon that we've put on here, just makes it really fresh and springy. I'm Danielle Gilbert. Thank you very much for joining me today here on ecountrylifestyle.com to learn how to make two of my favorite skewers. Here we have our artichoke tulips that we have placed in a vase. They do look an awful lot like tulips, don't they? Except I really want to eat these. Then we have our swordfish skewers. We just took big chunks of swordfish, skewered them with basil leaves in between, and wrapped them with pancetta. We have a little bit of lemon juice and lemon zest, some olive oil and salt and pepper working in there as well. And we also wilted some spinach and arugula in the renderings of some pancetta, which is an Italian bacon that is not smoked. So I hope you guys enjoy everything that we made here today. It all looks delicious. I can't wait to take a bite. Thank you so much. Have a delicious day. We will see you next time.